Hey guys, before the video or even I start the video, I'd like to make one thing clear. I did not make this thumbnail. One of my friends actually made this thumbnail for me for a while back, and I thought it was actually pretty much cool. So if you guys want to actually check out his channel, I'll leave his name down in the description below. His name is actually called Shur, and I really respect this guy's actually channel. I actually watched his video. It's really entertaining. He made this what it for me. So if you guys actually want, go check him out. His name will be in the description below. See ya. Yo guys, welcome back to the Ultra Squad, and today we're here with part 2 of What If Issei Had Ultra Ego. It's been a while since I actually did this, but heck, I'm coming back with it, so let's just start this video. Now, pretty much the last part we left off with pretty much Issei actually seeing his parents actually slaughtered right in front of him. There, Issei will actually awaken Dreg and pretty much his divine powers, face off against Kokubille, but Kokubille was about to deliver the finishing blow towards Issei, but Issei was actually saved by actually just Dende. And pretty much teleported out the lookout to where Dende explained everything towards Issei, that his parents had actually been killed. So pretty much that was the last part we actually left off, so let's actually begin this what if. It's been about actually 7 years. 7 years will actually pass after the whole event actually with Kokubille will happen. Dende will actually train Issei in pretty much actually like controlling his powers. Issei actually at the first was only mind with actually vengeance for his parents, but soon actually calmed down when actually Dende that pretty much his parents are gone and they don't want to, and he actually thought that his parents didn't actually want Issei going for vengeance like after them. So yeah, so Issei had to develop his time, training, and also helping the people of the world. Issei will go on missions, saving actually people, and also actually killing stray devils and fallen angels, and people who disrupt the balance of actually the earth. Issei actually kind of became Earth's guardian and make a name for himself. Issei has already mastered actually Dreg's powers, and also he's mastered his actually, well, not truly mastered, but he got a good control over his divine powers, which was actually Issei will actually call God Ki, actually, what then they actually called it. Pretty much Issei was actually pretty much of a badass. He was considered a god, what Kami actually told him. Like, Issei was considered a god, of course. So yeah, that's what actually happened during the 7 years, but right now, Issei was actually, oh no, sorry. Also during that time, Issei have actually went to Kuyu Academy, and pretty much actually his first year. As Issei, he was actually quite of a popular person. Every girl loved him, and every guy kind of actually had Issei's respect. Actually, Issei was not the guy who pretty much went for trouble looking for girls. He was just a guy who actually kept to himself. Most of the guys pretty much hated Issei because he actually got all the girls, but most of them, they actually saw him as kind of a chill, respectful guy, but nobody was actually kind of friends with him because Issei was a cold person to actually like talk to. He only actually said a few words to anybody. He was not really that much of a talkative person, but still, that all changed to where one actually red-haired person joined Issei's class. And remember, this is only the first year, guys. As pretty much the red-haired girl was actually named Mule Grimmery, Issei can tell that she was a devil. And he will actually kind of find it strange for a devil to be in here, but still, what actually made him more crazier for Issei that she was she was actually seated right next to him. Mew tried to make friends with Issei, but Issei would just brush her off, saying like hey, or like short words, to where Mew actually really was quite popular already on her first day. She made loads of friends and things like that, but she was mostly interested in Issei. She didn't know why. She couldn't actually sense divine energy or Issei had a sacred gear. She didn't really care. She thought of Issei as an interesting person, a mysterious person who basically has a mysterious life, which she was actually quite interested in. As pretty much after 1 year will go by in Kuyu Academy for Issei on his first year, Issei kind of opened up to pretty much Mew slowly, as they actually became friends. As pretty much she actually became Issei's first friend, and also the two of them did have a crush on each other. So this actually became to kind of a romance. But that's all changed to where we go on to the present right now. Issei actually is already in his second year, as pretty much he was actually in class, waiting for actually class to begin, to where the door would open to see Mule Grimmery. Mio will actually go and take a seat right next to Issei as she will be smiling, seeing that actually her love interest Issei was actually here, good as healthy as always. As actually the day will actually go by, as pretty much Mio, Issei will be actually walking home together. As pretty much they did this quite often, and Issei quite actually did like her, because every time that they actually walk, Mio will actually avoid danger. As every time they will actually feel some kind of supernatural being or actually anything, Miu actually guide Issei to actually a safe place, not going to the same place where the supernatural was. And Issei kind of respected her. She's pretty much trying to keep Issei safe, even though Issei can handle himself. But this will all change, of course, as Miu actually did not actually sense a fallen angel following them. As after they actually reached the park to where Issei died in a canon actually timeline, there was immediately of a magic barrier placed around them. As Miu was actually quite in shock and also worried. As immediately there was actually a life bear heading towards Issei. Miu actually put up a magic barrier protecting Issei and also herself. At this, Miu actually see there was actually 3 fallen angels. Oh, I see that you actually pretty much actually blocked that. I actually expected nothing less from pretty much actually the demon actually little sister Lucifer. Miu will actually grit her teeth to where Issei had to play the fake pretend card, of course. And he actually said, like, what's going on? Miu will actually turn around to Issei as she will actually give Issei the most worried and a cold look. As she would tell Issei to pretty much get out of here. Issei, I need you to pretty much leave. Now. Just find some place safe. I will deal with this. And don't worry, I'll explain everything to you tomorrow. Well, quite actually interested in making promises that you can't keep, the fallen angel would say. As the fallen angel will launch actually a life spear, breaking actually Mule actually barrier. And another one was actually heading towards actually Mule, a life spear, about to pretty much actually pierce her. Mule's eyes were just widened as immediately she was actually preparing for her to get pierced. But she will soon feel that nothing actually happened. She will open her eyes to where she will actually see Issei standing in front of her as he was holding the light spear in his bare hands, crushing it. Well, I actually never expected this. To where actually, like, the fallen angel would be looking at Issei quite surprisingly. Huh? How can a human do such a thing? And pretty much the fallen angel would launch another light spear towards Issei, but Issei, he would literally just go and shout out, Hakai, destroying the light spear before it even made impact. Miu will be actually up and shocked about this, to where the fallen angel will say like, ow, that's impossible! One of the fallen angel will go actually making a light sword to charge towards Issei. But Issei would actually make himself a red keyblade sword to where Issei would completely cut off the fallen angel's head before he even came even close to Issei. As pretty much the fallen, like there was actually 2 fallen angels left, to where one of them will actually launch 50 life spears towards Issei. But before anything could that even happen, Issei will shout out, Hakai! Issei will erase the life spear, including the actually fallen angel that was about to launch it. But immediately, Issei can sense there was actually about another 50 life spear heading towards his back. Issei will actually turn around, creating that destructive spear. Also, Miu will also create herself a destruction spear magic, and the two of them will launch it at the same time. The two of them will actually combine attacks, forming into one, and eventually erasing, I'm being serious, completely erasing that fucking nigga from existence, right? And literally breaking the barrier. This barrier will actually break, send a huge shockwave around Kuyu Academy, and also the whole town. This immediately alerted actually Sona and also raised actually this massive shockwave. Once actually the battle was over, Miu looked towards Issei and just shocked. How did you... As immediately Issei would just sigh, and actually they actually thought that they should discuss about this in private. As right now, we will see Issei and Mew at actually of a coffee shop or pretty much of a cafe shop. The place that where Basra was supposed to meet Mew and like Mew from season one, episode one of actually Devil Sister. Just that name, that anime, I can't remember, but still, as pretty much the two of them were actually just talking about how what they know about the supernatural. Mew told Issei that she's pretty much of a devil, to where Issei replied that he already knew that she was a devil, which quite actually shocked Mew, as Issei actually explained that he's actually not a normal human. Issei explained about that he's actually a dragon, but not just any dragon, he's a dragon god, which quite surprised Mew, which Issei actually could see the expression on Mew's face to tell her to calm down, that he's not here to help her out, that pretty much the two of them are friends, and pretty much the two of them will actually talk until eventually will actually kind of get dark, as Issei will actually pretty much actually tell Mew that they will actually talk about this probably tomorrow, as they will actually go to separate ways. As we'll fast forward all the way to the next day, to where we'll actually see Issei and actually Mew on top of the roof, just eating lunch together. As pretty much Issei was actually, well, kind of like Mew was actually telling Issei about her pretty much life as a devil. How she's not really that strong of a devil. How pretty much actually that she's actually quite of a weak devil in her family. As she explains that she has weak magic reserve, that she's actually not able to pretty much actually handle herself in a battle for that long. As pretty much she asked her brother, like Sir Zex, for training, but Sir Zex actually said to Mew that he has to focus on race for her engagement, as pretty much their family kind of actually ignore and also right there neglect Mew. The only person there in her life was pretty much her uncle Wilbert. And this actually quite actually saddened Issei that pretty much her family would just pretty much ignores her and not caring about her safety or protection. So Issei will actually offer one thing. Hey, what about if I train you, Issei would say. This would actually shock Mew, and she would say, wait, what? Yeah, I can train you. Probably I can actually help you actually get a decent control over your powers. What? Just what do you say? Sorry about that, guys, for my stuttering. I'm trying to control it, but still. As immediately Mew will actually just smile, and she will hug Issei, just tears will just falling down her eyes, and she would be actually saying thank you to Issei. Issei will just stroke her head, and eventually they will actually become really close to where Mew will actually do something crazy. She will plant a kiss on actually Issei's lip, which this would actually shock Issei. The kiss will last for a few seconds to where Mew kind of realized what she did, as she immediately apologized towards Issei. Issei said that it was actually no problem, that he kind of did like her for quite a bit now, as the two of them did actually blush. As they're after school, we will see Issei and Mew inside the woods or forest. As Issei will actually be training Mew, and just actually pretty much to become stronger. Issei will actually teach Mew Ki, as pretty much Issei actually taught her the basic of Ki. Pretty much actually drawing that actually her inner energy out of her, and pretty much actually trying to actually form actually an energy ball, but not a magic ball. Issei actually put magic seals on her for her not to pretty much use magic. So pretty much Mew was actually learning how to control Ki. As pretty much this will actually go on for quite about a month actually. Issei will train Mew in Ki. As Mew during this 1 month, she was not extremely powerful, but she actually is quite strong. She learned how to fly. She's able to actually like harness her Ki properly, and she's able to fuse her Ki with her demonic powers, which makes it demon Ki, and she's able to combine her destruction abilities with her Ki, making it incredibly strong. And this actually kind of surprised Issei, and also he kind of actually did actually like the progress where Mew was actually coming from. She was able to pretty much actually make her own special move, like Destruction Beam Cannon, and also Destruction Disc, and all sorts of abilities. As for right now, we will actually see Issei, as he's actually just like looking at the whole town. And pretty much next to him was actually Mew. Issei actually will look towards Mew, and he actually explains to Mew that pretty much he actually needs to leave town for a bit, that he has quite business to take care of. Miu will actually kind of nod her head before actually planting a kiss on Issei's lips, as the two of them did actually start dating actually during the 1 month. As once actually the kiss was actually broken, Issei will go and actually fly up into the sky, leaving Miu there. Miu will actually smile as she will actually have a determined look to continue her training to become strong for Issei. As we will actually see Issei flying around actually the place, as for the past couple of days, Issei has been actually disposing fallen angels and also stray devils that's pretty much disrupting the peace. Issei still needs to continue his job, of course. As pretty much for right now, we'll actually see Issei flying as it's already been about 2 days. As Issei was flying, he will actually sense a kind of disruption key as Issei will actually fly towards the energy, as it only took him about 30 minutes. As there, Issei will actually arrive at actually Kyoto, to where Issei will actually see there was actually a barrier placed around Kyoto. Once Issei actually entered the barrier, he actually sensed and actually saw the complete devastation and evil aura surrounding this whole place. The whole place of Kyoto was pretty much up in smoke and fire. And Issei can actually see yokais going over the place, injured, hurt, and also screaming, trying to actually get out of there, out. Issei will see several actually stray devils attacking the whole of Kyoto. Issei will actually get an angry look, to where Issei will immediately go and transform to his balance breaker. There, Issei's hair will flicker that to actually red, signaling he's in his balance breaker. And guys, before I even continue, I'd like to make one thing clear. When Issei goes into his balance breaker, his hair turns red, kind of like a Super Saiyan. Because I kind of actually like the look. There's nothing wrong with just the armor, but Issei going into his balance breaker and his hair changed red, that kind of looked kind of cool. So I kind of added that for Issei. That's also what he did during his training, so yeah. So anyway, back to the main story. As pretty much Issei, he will transform to his balance breaker, and with quick motion, he will dispose of the rest of the stray devils that was actually disrupting and also harming the actually yokai people. Once Issei actually finally demolished most of them, he will actually see actually one actually stray actually devil still there. But not just that, it was quite a powerful one. As the stray devil was looking at pretty much of a yokai, of a girl pretty much with actually blonde hair and pretty much actually just blue eyes. As she was actually a nine-tailed fox. As she was actually holding her right hand injured, as she had bruised cuts all over her bodies. As the devil would actually charge towards actually the yokai fox, as the yokai fox was preparing for herself to actually get herself killed. But she would soon open her eyes and she would actually see Issei standing between her and the devil. To where Issei would say like, how pitiful. Be erased, you filth. Hakai! Issei will actually yell out and immediately he will disintegrate the whole devil, not even leaving a trace of him left. As pretty much Issei will turn around towards actually the yokai, the nine-tailed fox, to where she will be looking at Issei with just widened eyes. Issei would say like, are you okay? Before offering his hand. But before anything can even happen, the girl will immediately try to actually attack Issei. As she will deliver a right actually kick, but Issei will block it with just actually his actually right hand. As Issei will be actually sent a little bit actually backwards. What the heck, I just saved you, Issei will say. How could I know if you're actually like an enemy or not? I can't let my guard down even for a second. You could probably be actually a part of this too. Issei was sigh. He would say like, yeah, he's not part of it. But the Nine Tails was not having it. Issei was sigh, and he will actually make himself a green energy orb, as the Nine Tails will prepare herself for actually her battle. As immediately Issei will launch an energy ball up inside the sky, and immediately it will just explode. There, pretty much, those green particles would be spread all around Kyoto, injuring like the people who were actually just yokais, or the people who were injured. They will immediately get themselves healed, and also she will realize the Nine Tails will realize that Issei is actually quite helping her, as also Issei destroyed the barrier. As there, Issei will actually look towards her. He will say like, "Do you believe me now?" She will actually lower her defenses as she will apologize for attacking Issei. I'm really sorry. I actually got a little bit hesitant for a second. She will say, as Issei will appear right in front of her, she as pretty much Issei will ask pretty much for actually her name. But the Ninetales will ask Issei for his name first. It's quite rude for you not telling me actually your name first before I give you mine. Oh, my bad. My name is actually just call me Eyes, actually. As pretty much Issei would say. Oh, a secret type, I see. But okay. My name is actually Kunon. It's a pleasure to meet you. But guys, I'm going to be ending the what if here. If you guys actually like this, like, subscribe. Let's get the video up to about 30 likes. And if you guys really want to see actually part 3 of this, click this comment down below part 3. And I'll be making the next part. I'll catch you guys in a bit. See you guys. Peace.